everybody, Ed here, QuackingFilms. Recently I said that I was going to start showing some behind the scenes footage from my stop motion, and I thought where better to start than my most recent film, the Series 5 Gladiator versus Series 17. So, this is the set that I used for the film. By the way, if you are wondering what the slightly loud breathing or snoring is in the background, it's not me, it's this guy over here. This is Billy, who likes to join me when I'm filming. He finds this a comfy spot to sleep, and also if I leave any Lego on the floor, quite against every instinct, he does like to sit on top of it, which generally destroys anything which I'm about to start using in a film. Anyway, tonight's no different. While I'm filming, he's decided to come in the room, so it gives you the full idea really of what it's like when I'm filming a brick film. Now, going back to the set over here, what you'll notice is it's not the most expensive setup in the world that I'm using. This is quite important for me because I do have a mortgage, I do have a wife, both of which are quite expensive. So I have a few things that I've used to cut costs. One thing is the lighting. Now, I know that you can spend hundreds of pounds potentially on lighting for a brick film. These are some lights from IKEA, however. Didn't cost me too much, I think they were about £8 each. I've put a bit of greaseproof paper over them, which should be enough to dim the light slightly, to make the light slightly less overpowering. So that's what I'm doing with those up there. Again, not very expensive. I've also got my camera here, so I've got my Microsoft LifeCam, which is again not the most expensive camera in the world. Importantly, it does have manual controls, which you can operate via the PC. So when I'm using Coral Video Studio, I can open up the little icon in the corner, and from there I can control things like exposure, brightness, focus, which are all important things when it comes to brick filming. So, looking at the way that I've created the set, what I really like when I'm making sets is that you don't need to build them like if you were building an entire model for display, because really you only need the section that's going to be visible on the film. So, bearing in mind that I was trying to create the feel of an entire stadium, potentially a huge stadium, I only needed a quarter of it to be able to represent a much bigger area. By using the camera in the right way, I could have two sides of the stadium showing and make it look like they were slightly different sides of the stadium, which is quite a neat way of doing it. I did originally start off with 3 sides, but then I realised I don't need this third side because I'm always only going to have 2 of them visible at once. I did make it slightly modular, so these sections could be removed and moved around if I needed them to. In terms of supporting the stadium, I used a combination of books and also these wooden blocks that are quite handy, and that just kept it all nice and in shape, made it look a lot bigger. You'll also notice that in the crowd I've got a few people who you wouldn't put in most Roman stadiums. So there's a few football fans there. There's this guy from the original LEGO Studios. But the fact that I was able to blur out the crowd slightly in the background of shots meant that nobody would really notice the slight irregularities of fans. I did have one section of fans though that I worked hard on to make sure that they were Roman looking, which I'm now destroying that section of the stadium. So over here we've got this section of stadium. So this is the section of stadium that I focused on the most. So I was able to use those for the zooming in sections of the crowds. The bit where they were chanting for Lamarcus, they were chanting for Hermes, and that gave the illusion that this was a Roman stadium. It might be worth pointing out I used blood as well in the video, so you notice that when one of the gladiators died, he was drenched in blood. To be able to do that, I used fake blood. So this was from a fancy dress shop, Smithy's, I think, and it was only about £2. Using that and using a earbud, I was able to apply that to the figures, and that seemed to work quite well at representing blood without having to do it in a CGI way. The tunnel, again, is one that's not as big as it actually looks. It's just a small area inside there where the gladiators were able to wait to come out to the stadium. I don't know if anybody noticed this, but for those of you who've been long-term fans of my videos, I made sure that this guy got into the background, so just a little hint that Brickington might be making a return at some point, potentially in Roman form. So there you go, that's a little bit at a quick look behind the scenes at my videos, really, just giving you an idea of how I do my setup. If you've got any questions, do put them in the comments below, and I'll be back with another video quite soon. I'm going to destroy this stadium now because I need the area to film the next video. Just to give you a little hint of what's to come, it's going to include this guy. So there might be two videos actually, one of which might include a certain hero chasing this guy. The other one will probably just be a little short video in the meantime. So keep your eyes peeled for those. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.